Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Hello. You join us at the Radio Theatre in London with another three music enthusiasts for the penultimate heat in Counterpoint's 36th series. We'll be testing them with an eclectic collection of questions covering every genre of music. They'll have to demonstrate the full range of their knowledge if they're going to achieve a place in our semi-finals, which start a couple of weeks from now. Let's meet today's trio of competitors.
Hello, I'm Kathryn Johnson. I live in Northwood in Middlesex, and the first recording I ever acquired was a budget disc of the Peer Gynt Suite.
Hello, my name is Mark Jones. I'm from York, and the first record I bought was the Pushbike song by The Mixtures.
Hello, I'm Harry Shaw. I'm from Cheltenham, and the first record I was ever gifted was Hunky Dory by David Bowie.
Welcome, all of you, and the very best of luck. The opening round tests your musical general knowledge. There are 2 points available per question. If the person asked can't answer correctly, I'll open it up to the others for a bonus point. In the words of the Temptations, get ready, 'cause here I come. With the first question for you, Kathryn Johnson. Wales is a land long shrouded in myth and legend. Storytelling and music regularly combine to forge the culture. An event in Cardiff marking St. David's Day sees the BBC National Chorus of Wales recognize the work of Welsh composer Grace Williams. Her 4 illustrations, written in 1939, concern the legend of a woman of the otherworld depicted in the Mabinogion, often portrayed as a horse goddess or as a beautiful woman on horseback. What is that deity's name?
Rhiannon.
That's right, for 2 points. From Wales, let's head to the northeast of England for music from the folk group The Unthanks. In 2019, they released a trilogy of song cycles, the second of which is inspired by the poetry of Siegfried Sassoon. Which conflict is remembered here? Mark Jones, which conflict was remembered there?
That's the First World War.
That is correct. Everyone Sang was set to the words of Sassoon's poem, published in 1919. Harry Shaw, released in 2013, which album by the French electronic duo Daft Punk is named after the hardware component that acts as a temporary storage space for a computer to handle data, usually referred to by the abbreviation RAM?
Random Access Memories.
Correct for 2 points. Kathryn Johnson, time to randomly access your memory with some music. Upheld by Stillness is the debut album of the 18-voice chamber choir Aura, which pairs Renaissance gems with specially commissioned reflections. Here the ensemble perform the Kyrie from the Mass for 5 voices, after which I'd like you to identify the English composer of the work.
William Byrd.
That is correct for 2 points. Mark Jones, the British rapper Stormzy's 2019 song Superheroes references several people, including Michael Dappa, fellow rappers Little Sims and Dave, tennis legends Serena and Venus Williams, and the British author of Noughts and Crosses, who was Children's Laureate from 2013 to 2015. What's her name?
Mallory Blackman.
That's correct. Harry Shaw, Stormzy's Superheroes, also cites one of the all-time great American vocalists. 2023 marks the 90th anniversary of her birth and the 20th anniversary of her passing. Here she performs one of the first civil rights songs in response to racially motivated murders in the early 60s. After you've heard Mississippi Goddam, I'd like you to name her.
Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? It's all in the air. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's gotten me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi, goddamn.
Nina Simone.
It is Nina Simone for 2 points. Kathryn Johnson, song inspiration of a different kind. The Killers frontman Brandon Flowers told GQ magazine in 2009 about writing one of his group's best-known hit songs. I was asleep and I knew something was wrong. I have these instincts. I went to the Crown and Anchor and my girlfriend was there with another guy. Which Killers song is he referring to?
Mr. Brightside.
That's right, for 2 points. Mark Jones. In March 2023, the Royal Ballet revives a 2015 production choreographed by Wayne McGregor with music by Max Richter and spoken word by Gillian Anderson. The ballet is inspired by the novels, essays, diaries, and letters of a 20th century British writer. After you've heard The Waves, I'd like you to name her.
What I want to say is I owe all the happiness of my life to you. You have been entirely patient with me and incredibly good. I want to say that. Everybody knows it.
That's Virginia Woolf.
That's right. Harry Shaw, the German-born singer-songwriter and actress Nico, had roles in several films, including Andy Warhol's Chelsea Girls. Nico made her official screen debut in which 1960 film directed by Federico Fellini?
Let's try La Dolce Vita.
You try and you get it. 2 points. Kathryn Johnson, 2022, marked the 50th anniversary of the world-renowned soprano Jessie Norman's debut at the Royal Opera House, where she appeared in Berlioz's The Trojans. After we've heard part of her aria, Malheur, I'd like you to name the ill-fated Trojan prophetess and daughter of King Priam she played.
Cassandra.
Cassandra is the correct answer. Mark Jones. Over its 300-year history, the Three Choirs Festival has premiered works by Edward Elgar, Arthur Sullivan, Samuel Coleridge Taylor, Judith Weir, and many others. To which 3 English cathedrals does the name of this festival refer?
Hereford, Worcester, and Cheltenham.
Oh, you've got 2 of the 3 correct. So we'll give you 1 point, and we will go to Harry Shaw.
Gloucester, Worcester, and Hereford.
And that is right, and you get a bonus point. Finally, in this round, music for you, Harry Shaw. Laurie Anderson's 8.5-minute, half-sung, half-spoken experimental single, Oh, Superman, was a #2 hit in 1981. For obvious reasons, we can't play it all, though I'd love to, but after you've heard several ha-s, a question will follow.
Oh, Superman. Oh, Judge. Oh, Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad.
Anderson has said that the origins of the song lie in the words, O Sovereign, O Judge, O Father, from an aria in Le Cid, a 19th century opera by which French composer?
Massenet.
That's right, and that is why the full title of the song is O Superman for Massenet. Let's see if your scores are super after the opening round, and they are. In third place with 7 points, Mark Jones, lying second with 8 points, Kathryn Johnson, and in the lead with 9 points, it's Harry Shaw. In the second round of Counterpoint, our competitors have to choose special subjects on which to answer their own individual set of questions. I'm about to give them 5 categories to pick from, of which they've had no warning until this moment. They are Roll Over Beethoven, Choral and Chorus, Musical Freedom and Human Rights, Animals in Opera, and the Fantasy World of Bernard Herrmann. Harry Shaw, you're in the lead at the moment. What would you like?
Musical freedom and human rights, please.
And for you, Kathryn Johnson.
I would like chorals and chorus, please.
That leaves 3 for Mark Jones, which are Roll Over Beethoven, Animals in Opera, and the Fantasy World of Bernard Herrmann.
Roll Over Beethoven.
We'll start with Mark Jones and your specialist questions on Roll Over Beethoven. Originally released in the mid-50s, the Chuck Berry song Roll Over Beethoven celebrates the supplanting of classical music by rock and roll. 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of the release of a cover version by ELO, which features an opening quote from which Beethoven symphony?
The fifth.
That's right. Beethoven's music was given an electronic makeover in 1971 by the pioneer of the Moog synthesizer, Wendy Carlos. It was produced in collaboration with Rachel Elkind for the soundtrack of a controversial film based on a book by Anthony Burgess. After you've heard the scherzo, I'd like you to name the film.
A Clockwork Orange.
That's right, Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. Leonard Bernstein often quoted classical composers in his works. The melody of which song from the musical West Side Story nods to the second movement of Beethoven's Emperor Piano Concerto, number 5?
Somewhere.
That's right. Here's an adaptation of Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 1, which provided a 1965 Eurovision Song Contest win for Luxembourg. I'd like you to name both singer and composer.
Mes disques sont un miroir dans lequel chacun peut me voir. Je suis partout à la fois, brisé en mille éclats de voix. Autour de moi, j'entends rire les poupées de chiffon, celles qui dansent sur mes chansons, poupées de cire, poupées de son.
I've no idea.
Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Son was recorded by Franz Gall and written by Serge Gainsbourg. Beethoven's music continues to inspire every genre. In 2012, when hip-hop producer DJ Premier teamed with the rapper Nas for the song Regeneration, they combined it with a 1787 Beethoven work based on a Goethe play. Which overture is that?
Leonardo?
No, it's the Egmont Overture. For your next extract, here's the Billy Joel song, This Night, from his 1984 album, An Innocent Man. The chorus is based on a second movement, the Sonata No. 8. And finally, in this Beethoven-themed round, his Moonlight Sonata has been sampled on a number of songs, including Past, Present, and Future by the Shangri-Las and Piano and I by Alicia Keys. For the song Because by the Beatles, John Lennon was inspired to use the piece after hearing Yoko Ono playing it on the piano. What is distinctive about its use in that Beatles song?
No, I don't know.
It is played backwards. That is true. And Mark Jones, in that round, you scored 6 points, added to your previous 7. You now have 13 points. Kathryn Johnson, here are your questions. Choral and chorus. The Hallelujah Chorus closes part 2 of which English language oratorio composed in 1741 by Handel?
Messiah.
Yes. Panis Angelicus is the penultimate stanza of the hymn Sacris Solemnis, written by St. Thomas Aquinas. The first section was set to music separately from the rest of the hymn by César Franck. Can you identify which tenor performs it here alongside the Vienna Boys Choir?
Placido Domingo.
That was Placido Domingo for 2 points. The first musical appointment of the 16th century British composer Thomas Tallis was as organist of a priory in 1532. There he composed Missa Salve in Temerata, his earliest known work. The priory is now the site of a college where a stone gate post bears a plaque dedicated to Tallis in which Kent town?
Dover.
That's right. From Dover College, let's head northwards to a Cambridge college for a setting of Psalm 51. Here's the Miserere, which provides the title track of Clare College Choir's album release of 2000. Can you name the Italian composer of this work?
Gregorio Allegri.
That's correct for 2 points. Which choral piece am I describing? Inspired by the text of a William Blake poem, it premiered at Winchester Cathedral on the 22nd of December, 1982. Now a common part of church services, especially around Christmas, it is also a set work for the Edexcel A-level music examination.
No, I can't think of that.
It's The Lamb by John Tavener. Well, I think that's charming. That's the first time that's been said by a woman on this program.
You should have heard what I might have said, actually.
Music again. Here's the Santa Monica-based ensemble Globus with Scott Siskin and choir. Madre Terra is an Italian song for the ancient goddess of the planet. After you've heard it, I'd like you to name that deity, the English translation of Madre Terra.
Mother Earth.
That's right. And finally, in this round, the critically acclaimed a cappella choir Accentus was founded by the French conductor Laurence Equelbet, widely respected for her work in choral music. Since 1998, the choir has been in residence at the Opéra de Rouen, which is located in which geographical and cultural region of northwestern Europe?
It's in Strasbourg.
I'm afraid it's not. It's Normandy.
Oh, thinking of a totally different place, sorry.
Okay, but don't fret, because you did very well in that round. You got 10 points added to your previous 8. You now have 18 points. Harry Shaw, here are your questions on musical freedom and human rights. A song written in 1984 by the British musician Jerry Dammers and performed by the Special AKA protested against the imprisonment of which South African anti-apartheid activist?
Nelson Mandela.
That's right. Here's a song about another anti-apartheid activist. In 1986, I compiled an album on behalf of Amnesty International featuring major artists united by the theme of humanity called Conspiracy of Hope. It included tracks by various artists, including Elton John, Sting, Dire Straits, and Peter Gabriel. Here's Gabriel paying tribute to one of the founders of the Black People's Convention in South Africa. Can you name him?
Biko.
That's right, Stephen Biko. 2 benefit shows I organized on behalf of Amnesty at the London Palladium involved artists, including Peter Gabriel, Jackson Browne, and Joan Armatrading, culminating in a finale of everyone performing a Bob Dylan song. It includes the lyric, "I see my light come shining from the west unto the east." What's the name of that song?
Times are changing.
No, it's I Shall Be Released.
Okay.
Time for more music. Here's Mary Chapin Carpenter with a song telling the story of a young army soldier involved in the slaughter of hundreds of unarmed protesters. The track is called 4th of June, 1989. After you've heard it, I'd like you to name the tragedy to which it refers.
Oh, I was 17 that spring. Oh, we were just obeying orders. Oh, I still see everything through the factory's yellow windows, in the dirty, stinking river, in the messages that find you and vanish in the ether.
4 June 1989 refers to what?
The Tiananmen Square massacre?
That is correct. 2023 is the 10th anniversary of the release from prison of which Russian feminist punk band, whom Amnesty International designated women as prisoners of conscience?
No clue, pass.
Pussy Riot. In 2014, John Legend and Common joined forces to release the song Glory. Originally, it was used as the theme of a film about the 1965 Montgomery marches, for which it won an Academy Award for Best Original Song. I'd like you to name that film.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory.
Selma?
That's right, for 2 points. And finally, in this round, Same Love is a song by the American hip-hop duo Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, with vocals by Mary Lambert. Containing the lyric, "It's human rights for everybody, there is no difference." It was recorded during the campaign for Washington Referendum 74, which upon approval in November 2012 legalized what?
Let's try cannabis.
No, it's same-sex marriage in Washington state. Harry, in that round, you scored 8 points. Added to your previous 9, you now have 17 points. And so these are the scores after the individual round. Vying third with 13 points is Mark Jones. In second place with 17 points is Harry Shaw. And our leader with just 1 round to go with 18 points is Kathryn Johnson. Anyone could win. It's fingers on the buzzer as we enter our quick-fire final round. Things can change quickly. A correct answer wins you 1 point, but you lose a point if you buzz in and fail to answer correctly. There are no bonuses. So, fingers poised, here we go. In band names, which word follows Swing Out and Shakespeare's? And Mark says...
Sister.
He's right. On which album does Jim Steinman ask, On a Hot Summer Night? And Harry says...
Bat Out of Hell.
Correct. Act 1 of which Verdi opera begins on a stormy evening with the people of Cyprus anxiously, and Kathryn says...
Othello.
Yes. The composer Ralph Vaughan Williams was the great-nephew of which English naturalist, widely known for his contributions, and Kathryn Johnson says...
Charles Darwin.
Yes. Moon Age Daydream is a 2022 documentary film, and Harry says...
David Bowie.
Yes. Which British folk band's name comes from a character mentioned in the traditional song Horkstog, and Kathryn says...
Steel I Span.
Correct. Which Robbie Williams hit shares its name with a song from the musical Gypsy. And Mark says...
Angels.
No, I'm sorry. It's Let Me Entertain You. -1. Pink Floyd's album cover for The Dark Side of the Moon features which... And Harry
It's
says...
a prism.
Yes. Which singer's 10th studio album is titled 50 Words for Snow? Harry.
Kate Bush.
You're right. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum is situated, and Harry says...
Nashville.
Yes, he's right. What's the name of the long horn played by Alpine villagers sounded, and Kathryn says...
Alphorn.
Yes. On which instrument was the composer Johannes Brahms a virtuoso? Kathryn.
Piano.
Yes. Which Roxy Music album shares its name with a mythical place, and Harry says...
Avalon.
Yes. The popular song from William Walton's Facade was used as theme music for which TV game show hosted by Joseph Cooper? The TV game show hosted by Joseph Cooper was Face the Music. In 2023, which singer from Pontypridd marks a 60-year career after starting out as the frontman? And Kathryn says...
Tom Jones.
Yes. And finally, press agent Oscar Davis and announcer Horace Logan are both credited as early users of which phrase spoken at the end of an Elvis Presley concert? And Kathryn says...
Elvis has left the building.
Correct. Elvis has left the building, but we haven't. Before we leave the building, there's just time to announce the final scores in today's heat of Counterpoint. Third, with 13 points, is Mark Jones. Runner-up with 23 points is Harry Shaw. And our winner going through to the semifinals with 25 points, Kathryn Johnson. So congratulations, Kathryn Johnson. We'll be welcoming you back in a few weeks' time for the semifinal. Warm thanks and commiserations to the other two of you for a most enjoyable show. Join us next time for the last of the heats, when we'll complete our semifinal lineup for 2023. Until then, from all of us here at the Radio Theatre, goodbye.